So the pest and sign of the pest, these are the examples that you can see are in front of you. That pests are the living creature that lives in our food or outside of the food, whether it's the storage area, whether it's the amount of any type of, you can say, ants, insects, birds, flies, cockroaches, mice, rats, cats. Mm. So, uh, cats is considered to be an animal, but the food poisoning can be triggered through them as well. Okay. So you have a minute to go through the current slide, then we'll move further. Okay, some of the things which I would like to highlight before I move further in the pest and the sign of the pest. So, see, understanding and addressing the pest issue is very crucial because pests, such as we have discussed in the previous slide, as you can see that the example of the pests are the rats, mice, cockroaches, flies, birds, and ants. So they can contaminate the food, which is leading to a serious health risk for the consumers. So the droppings and the urine is the first one because the pests often leave the droppings and the urine near the food storage area. So these are not only, you can say, unsightly, but also can be harbor harmful bacteria. So which is exactly the contamination of the food products. So the next one which I would like to mention here is the damage. The rodents have the, you can say, the tendency to damage the various materials, including the food packaging and the marks on the packages or the structural damage to the products which are in the storage area, and they can be indicator of the pest problem as well. So the damage is also there because the pest may have access the store food by damaging the packaging. So as the damage compromises the integrity of the packaging, so it is very, or you can say it is making easier for the contaminants to enter and spoil the food. Unusual odors is the one more sign of the pest because especially when they die or they nest in the hidden areas, they can produce very unpleasant odors. So detecting in unusual smells in or around the food storage areas should have raised the concerns and they promote future investigation. How you can do is with the regular inspection, you will implement uh, an inspection schedule, which is very vital. You will do the regular checks of the storage area, equipment, and overall facility that can help to identify and address the pest issues properly. And it is followed by the proper sanitization, where maintaining the cleanness and the proper sanitization practices is a very fundamental aspect of the pest control. So, eliminating any type of potential food sources, sealing entry points, disposing of the waste properly contribute um, to the overall less attractive environment for the pest. And the pest control measures is, you can say, implementing the effective pest control measures, such as you can set up the trap, baits, and if necessary, the professional extermination services as well, which is very essential to keep the facility pest free. Okay, and the main part here is the uh, employee training, where the staff should be trained to recognize the signs of the past and understand the importance of the reporting if there are any sightings promptly. So early detection can prevent the widespread, uh, we can say widespread of the pest or the infestations and so on. Okay. Okay, so here is a case study that I would like the participants to go through. And you can see the food handler enters the storeroom and the first thing in the morning and notices it's a musty smell. He then sees the small pieces of paper on the floor. The storeroom is very full, packets are piled up everywhere and is difficult for him to see because there is no window. After moving a lot of goods out of the way, he picks up the bag of sugar. Sugar spill over the floor from the small holes in the bag. He moves for more goods out of the way and sees a number of small droppings on the floor beneath the product. And there are three questions for you. And if you like to test your, I can say, experience and knowledge in the food safety, you can answer these in the chat. And the questions are like followed. The question number one is, what is the most likely the problem in the storeroom? Second question is, what should be the food handler do next? Third question is, how should the food be stored in a dry storeroom? Anyone like to participate in answering these three questions are open, and you may participate by answering them in the chat. See, mentioning the storeroom temperature can be very depending on the products, because some products, such as the perishable products, require different storage temperatures and humidity tolerance as well. But other products, such as raw material, requires different room temperatures and humidity. So, in general, there is no such room temperature. But the general is you have to keep the products away from the direct sunlight. Anyone like to contribute to these three questions, or shall we move on? Walaikum assalam, Salim Shah. Okay, we shall move further. These are the few, you can say many of the few roles and responsibilities of the supervisor when it comes to the pest control. So the supervisor and the staff should be able to recognize the signs of the pest infestation, and the signs of the infestation should be reported to the supervisor straight away, and any contaminated food should be discarded. And the supervisors, obviously, they should be aware of the actions needed in the event of the infestation and be able to identify the contamination of the food products by the pest. Okay, we have an answer, and the answer is spending too much time on the labor in the store. That's a very good answer. Okay, Muhammad Ali is also answering very good. I'm happy with the correct answers. They're acceptable. Okay, with that, we move to the section 5, which is the temperature control. Okay. The proper ventilation should be encouraged. Okay. Okay, so we are at the section 5, which is the temperature control. By the end of this section, you will be able to ensure the appropriate facilities which are available to enable the correct temperatures along with the maintenance at all the process stages. So let's jump in. I guess somebody asked about the temperature control recently, I guess, in a previous slide, and they were asking about the temperature in the storage area. Okay, so with that, you can go through this slide. Then I'll start explaining some of the most important points when it comes to temperature control in the food safety. See, the temperature control is very critical to prevent the growth of the harmful bacteria and ensure the food safety. So let's start with the storage temperatures. That was the first question that was asked by the respected participant. So I would like to start explaining through the answering that question now as we are on that topic now. So Nizmul Kabir, please pay attention to what I'm going to say now. Okay. So, see, different food items, as I mentioned earlier, require specific storage temperature to maintain the freshness and safety. Okay, but if we want to differentiate between the storage temperatures, so let's just take for the example, refrigerators should be kept at or below 4 Celsius and 40 Fahrenheit while the freezer should be maintained at the minus 17 centigrade Celsius and 0 Fahrenheit or lower. Okay. Now, this was for the refrigerators if you're keeping any type of perishable items or raw material or raw food. Okay, which requires refrigeration to be clear. Okay. And the hot holding foods that are meant to be served hot should be kept at a temperature above 63 centigrade Celsius or 145 Fahrenheit to prevent any bacterial growth. Because the hot holding equipment like steam tables or warming trays should be used appropriately. And it is followed by the cold holding. Like cold holding refers to what? Cold food, especially the perishable items like salads and deli meats, and they are recommended and they should be kept at the temperature below 4 Celsius. And in Fahrenheit, it is 40. So the refrigeration units should have accurate temperatures controls and regular monitoring, whereas the cooking temperatures are very crucial to kill the harmful bacteria. We all know that, but the poultry, ground meat, and the other potential hazards, or you can say hazardous foods, should be cooked to a specific internal temperature, often ranging from 74 Celsius to 85 Celsius. Okay, so and but again, I would like to highlight that it is depending on the type of food. Okay. Yes, we can categorize the food items and we can make different sections that this is the limit range of the temperature and this product is suitable for this type of storage conditions of the temperature. Okay, what is the safe temperature? You can go through this slide and I'll start explaining. Okay, and the safe temperature, as I mentioned earlier, uh, it in some countries it is labeled as 4 Celsius, but here you can see it is 5, and this includes the items like the dairy product, raw meat, and seafood. Okay. We'll move to the hot, but I am starting from the cold. Now, if we go to the a little bit more into the freezing, so the storage of the frozen fruits at minus 18 Celsius or lower to maintain their quality and prevent the bacterial growth. And for the hot foods, the temperature should be above 60 Celsius to inhibit the bacterial growth. This is very crucial for the items like soups, stews, and cooked meat. Okay. So, in my recommendation, please always use the food thermometer to accurately measure the internal temperatures of the food items, because these temperature guidelines are essential to prevent any type of foodborne illness, diseases, and ensure the safety of the food supply chain as well. So, these are the potential hazardous food. So you can see the potential hazardous food that has to be kept at a certain temperature is to minimize the growth of any pathogenic microorganisms that are present in the food. So, and also it prevents the formation of the toxins in the food. And the examples of the potentially hazardous food include any type of dairy products and processed foods containing eggs, beans, nuts, seafood. And the processed fruits and salads, such as pre-pressed salads, are ready to eat fruit packs and cooked rice and pasta as well. Okay. So you can go through this slide, then I'll start explaining. See, danger zone for the food is very typical to answer because it depends on the different foods. So I cannot say that it has to be the same for the every food, but the danger zone could be from if you see uh, if it is a frozen food, it cannot go beyond the 0 Celsius. Okay. Okay, so I hope that you have gone through this slide. It's just for your explanation. I don't think that there is any need of type of explanation that is needed. Let me know, Salim, Mr. Salim, that what is the thing that you're not understanding. And we have a question as well. I have a question that the cookies, biscuits, raw material in the storeroom. You were asking the temperature for the cookies, biscuit, raw material, storage temperature. Am I right? See, storing the materials in a cool and dry place with a temperature between 15 to 21 centigrade would be better. But these extreme temperatures, both hot and cold, can affect the texture and flavor of the cookies and the biscuit. So the temperature ranges that I have mentioned could be best or one of the best if you want to keep the biscuits in their true and original form or in the texture or flavor of their originality. And you have to keep in mind that the storage area should have a relatively low humidity, ideally between 50 to 60%, because high humidity can lead to moisture absorption, causing the cookies to become stale or lose their crispiness as well. And you have to ensure the proper ventilation in the storage rooms to prevent any buildup of odors and maintain the fresh environment. And the storage containers, which is a very crucial part where you have to use the airtight containers to protect the cookies and biscuit from the air and moisture. So this helps to maintain their freshness and prevents them from becoming stale. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And Mr. Salim, please let me know that what is the part where you didn't understand something. I will repeat it again. Certificates are available for today's session if you have done the registration. Ashok. Okay. We are at the chill temperature. You can go through this, then I'll start explaining. Uh, you can contact me. I will be happy to assist you regarding the registration process. Let me share my number. You can go through here and complete the registration process, and you'll be able to receive the certificate. Certificate is available if you have done the registration. Okay, so let's jump back. The temperature, chill temperature, for those who don't know, it refers to a temperature range used for the storage of the perishable foods, especially in the refrigeration. So, in the food safety, the chill temperature range is generally between 0 Celsius to 4. So, this temperature ranges is considered optimal for slowing the growth of the bacteria and preserving the freshness of the perishable items such as meats, dairy products, and certain prepared foods, which require refrigeration. So, maintaining the food within this chill temperature is very crucial to prevent any rapid growth of the bacteria that can cause the foodborne illness diseases. It's important to use the refrigerator or the storage facility equipped with a reliable thermometer to monitor and regulate the temperature. So you will ensure that the perishable foods are kept at safe and constant level. Now we're at the hot holding. You can go through this slide, then I'll start explaining. You have a minute. So, I would like to add a few lines in the hot holding. In the food safety practice involves keeping the cooked and heat foods at a temperature above 60 centigrade or Celsius. So this temperature ranges is essential for inhibiting the growth of the harmful bacteria, ensuring that the food remains safe for the consumption. Okay. So a lot of people are not getting the temperature ranges. So let me explain it a little bit uh, understandable form. Okay, let's just say, please give me example of a hot food. What did you ate in last night dinner? Any answers in the chat? I hope it was hot. Anyone like to answer what they ate yesterday in the dinner? You ate tea. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's take the biryani. Now, let's just say that this is the biryani plate. Okay, I will label it as B. And okay, let's add the chicken biryani. Okay, this is biryani, and for the abbreviation of chicken, I will add it this. Okay, now this is the plate of the chicken biryani. It is cooked. It is ready to eat. Now it should be above 60 Celsius. Okay, why? The question is why? Because if this temperature, this is the danger zone. If it goes below down this temperature, let's just say that it's gone on 40. Okay, now what happens if the temperature goes below this temperature? It is certain that the growth of the microorganisms will take place. Okay, or any microorganisms of the bacteria, which causes different types of foodborne illness diseases. So if it is above 60, it is good, but it is below 40, even if you kept it, if you are serving it at 60 and after, let's just say 10 minutes and 20 minutes, it is at 40. So this is the danger zone. Okay. And if it's keep going beyond or below the 40, so this is the danger zone. This is for the hot holding. Okay. I will label it as hot holding. Now let's just take one perishable item of the food. What could you suggest for the perishable items which require refrigeration? Let's just say meat, raw meat. Okay. Meat and fish. Let us include both. Okay. Fish and meat. Now, these two requires temperature if you are going for the refrigeration that it should be below 0 Celsius. Why? Because first of all, when it goes beyond this, let's just say it moved up to 20. This is when you're not about to cook, okay? This is when you have left it in open air without the any type of refrigeration process and it is still raw meat. So if it is going from 0 to 20, this is the danger zone, because when this type of temperature is there, the type of microorganisms which causes foodborne illness diseases or foodborne illness type of bacterial diseases are taking place. So the best is to store it at 0 is the limit. It cannot go beyond it, but it can go below it. Like it could go in minus, but cannot go in plus. If you want to cook it, then that's a different story. We are not talking about cooking. We are talking about here storage. And we are talking here about after it is cooked. Okay, so don't get yourself confused. I hope it is clear. Okay, let me just go through the reheating. Reheating is possible, but it is accepted as a good practice to a lot of times when you go through the pizza, you go to the pizza restaurant and you ate and then you want to take it at home. So if you go through the very famous brands or big brands, they have mentioned the reheating process on their packaging of the pizza where you get it for the takeaway. So reheat foods have the internal temperature of at least 74 Celsius to ensure that any potential bacteria are destroyed. Okay, and you have to reheat the food ideally within the 2 hours of the initial cooking or as soon as possible, because this minimizes the time that food spends in the danger zone, which I just explained. Okay, between 5 to 60 Celsius. Okay, where bacteria multiply rapidly. This is the danger zone definition. That and the danger zone is the zone where the bacterian which cause the foodborne illness diseases multiply rapidly. So you have to ensure that the entire dish reaches the recommended internal temperature. Stirring and rotating of the food during reheating helps to achieve even heating. And you have to avoid multiple reheating because you have to limit the number of the times you reheat the food to reduce the risk of the bacterial contamination. So it is generally best to heat the food only once in my recommendation. Okay. And one thing that I would like to add, we usually use the microwave, so you have to cover it using a lid, and you have to provide a safe cover when reheating in a microwave to trap steam. So you are promoting even heating and preventing drying at the same time. It could be the best and plus point. So this is the risk of cooling and storing the food like this. What are the risks? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Okay, very good. Muhammad Ali has a good answer. Brilliant. Okay, cross contamination, bacterial growth. Okay, so we'll take a 2 minutes or 3 minutes break, and we'll start again from the how to check the temperatures from this. Okay, you can join through the same link by which I have shared in the WhatsApp group, and it will be available for you to open it. We will start again at 9:35 after 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, very good answers, Fazal Mahmood and Nuzmul Kabir and Pradeep. It's really good to see you being here again. I'm really happy. Okay, so please join back in 9:35. Depending on your time zone, after 2 minutes, where it will be 35. Okay. Beside of the hour. You can join using the same link which I have shared in the WhatsApp group.